Hi everybody, this is Harmony with Harmony Stitches and welcome to my channel. Here we talk about my crafting journey, which usually revolves around cross stitch, some knitting, and some crochet as well. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who has stopped by my channel, either watched, liked, subscribed, commented, whatever, however you participated. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me to have people participating in my channel here. So usually every week I do a wheel spin for a new start and a whip. Last week I think I just did a new start wheel. Yeah, I think I just did the new start wheel, and then I decided that I was going to continue on with my SAL, my Stitch Along with the Chronicles of Narnia, hosted by the Stitching Book Club, which is all sold out, so I'm very happy for her. And then also my focus piece for the year is Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia, designed by Nora Corbett. So we'll go ahead and talk about the things I worked on this week and then plans for March, because I'm doing something probably a little crazy, but I think it's going to be fun at the same time. So we'll go ahead and start with the wheel spin for the new start from last week. I'll put a picture of it here, and it's Sweet to the Soul by Joyful Expressions, and it's a honeycomb pattern, and I'm doing this to go in the kitchen. My goal was to get the one page done with the honeycombs, and I figured there was about 30, and I say about because some of them are almost half honeycomb shapes, and then there's other ones. So I'm stitching this on 18 count antique white Aida. No, sorry, 14 count antique white Aida. And this is my progress. And I don't know how it will show up for you on camera, but some of these, as I'm working on them, some of them do look similar. Looking at it up here in this light, they do look different, but there's going to be back stitching around all of them as well. So I finished all but I think 4.5 honeycombs, and the reason being is because I bought the wrong color. I bought all of these colors. There's supposed to be white in here too, I think. I don't know why, but I think they're supposed to be white. I bought all the colors ages ago, and DMC 3826 is supposed to be DMC 3820. Somehow I must have wrote it down incorrectly and got the wrong one. So I need 3820 to go in those spaces, but still, I think that was pretty great considering I started a new job this week, and one of those days I ate lunch with some of my new coworkers, and so I didn't get to stitch. Friday actually was my first snow day, so I did get to stay home, and that's when I did the majority of this, so that way I could get caught up, because I felt that I was a little bit behind my schedule. Remember, because there's no rules in cross stitching, but I was behind on my own schedule that I put on myself, because that's not quite 25% of the honeycombs, but is a good progress for the first week on it. So that will go on the whip wheel. And then my SAL, Chronicles of Narnia, and I am just using on Sweet to the Soul, I am just using the called for DMC. On this one, because there's all the different colors on the honeycombs, I didn't think that it was wise to try to change any colors. Plus, I'm not really into that most times anyway. So, Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is stitched on 28 count white Monaco with all of the called for floss. These are the called for colors for part 1. Part 2 comes out on March 5th, which is this coming Saturday. There are more colors in here too. I just did not put them on tags because I didn't need them just yet. It's easier to find your color if you don't have all those extras. All right, so my goal was to get the word Narnia done, and then as much after that as possible, and I did it. I got Narnia done. These starbursty things have 7 colors in them. 7. I do not like color changes after like 3 or 4 stitches, and they're let's see, 12. A lot of the colors had 12 stitches, and it was aggravating, so aggravating, because that's just not how I like to stitch. I like big blocks of color. But sometimes when you do a sal, especially a mystery one like this, you just have to kind of go with it and take what you get. I am really excited about having this one completed. There are, in this area and this area, there's like a little like foliage type thing. And then there's 2 borders down below. There's back stitching that says The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So there is quite a bit more to this part, but I will see if I can get a little bit more done on this throughout the week. We'll see. It's just a lot of counting and color changes. So there is that. All right, so Lady of the Flag, my focus piece, the thing that I work on almost every week, every month. Well, every month. It's only February. I started on January 9th. Again, I am doing the teal conversion that I found in the Lady of the Flag group. Lady of the Flag group. It's either the Lady of the Flag stitching group on Facebook or the Mirabilia full conversion group. I joined both of those because I knew that my daughter wanted a different color for the dress. Here, let me show you, let me show you the cover. So this is the cover. She's in creams. No, she's in golds. And my daughter wanted teal to make it look like the Statue of Liberty in human form. So this is what I got done this month. And as you can see, that's a lot. I will put up a picture here to show the difference in where I started February and where I'm ending February, because I will not work on this again tomorrow. But mostly I did this bottom here, this part of her dress, and all the flag except for I think there was 1 block of red. Oh, and I did get some up here done as well. So Lady of the Flag is coming together nicely. I'm almost all the way over to the left side here. And this, I think there's quite a bit more on the right-hand side. I can't remember. Oh, I think the ribbon. The ribbon here, I think, is what I have left to do on that side. That was my focus piece for the Michigan Cross Stitch Group Challenge that I'm hosting called Traveling the USA. And in February, we had to travel to Sacramento, California. We're doing state capitals. For me, that was 2,299 stitches. A couple of days, I think I was messing up my, not necessarily counting them, but I was counting them and then forgetting to log it, and then my app was clearing it out. Since I have found how to go back in and find what I logged for the week, there's statistics in the app, so that's pretty handy. But before I found that out, I was forgetting to log a day here or there. So I logged 2,330 stitches, but I think that I have a little bit more than that as well. So I made it to to Sacramento, and then some sightseeing, as I said. If you're in the Michigan Cross Stitch group, don't forget to go to the album section and check out all of the information for the event. Even if you didn't participate in January or February, you can still participate in the rest of the year. The way that I am doing it is if you participate and finish the challenge in January, you get 1 entry into the drawing for a prize. If you finish in February, you get 1 entry. So even if you didn't do January or February, it is quite possible for you to get 10 entries into the drawing by the end of the year. So keep that in mind if you are in Michigan. If you are in Michigan and not in the group, go ahead and send me an email at my email listed below in the description box, and I will get you connected to the group, because it's pretty fun. In January, we had 14 participants complete the challenge, and so far, and we only had to travel to Columbus, Ohio. And in February, we went to Sacramento, like I said, and we already have 14 people completed the challenge. 2 people forgot to post their before photo, so we're still trying to figure out how we can navigate that and get them in. And there's several more people that are still, they posted their before photo and still are working, I believe. So that's pretty fantastic. I told my daughter when I spun Sacramento on the wheel, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have anybody participate because it's a lot of stitches. But I think the excitement was we can get a finish. We can get a big chunk. And I think there was at least 2 finishes and maybe 3. So that's pretty exciting that the challenge has already helped complete some projects. And I believe that in January, even though just going to Columbus, we got a couple finishes there too. So, okay, so now I don't have any purchases this week, but I do have plans for March. The girls over at Steel City Stitchers here on YouTube are hosting for the 3rd year in a row March Madness. And the way that it works is basically just like a tournament, and you choose your projects. Excuse me. The way that they all do it a little bit differently, and I'm going to link their video below of last week's video where they went over what they were going to do for March Madness 2022. I am doing it similar but a little bit different. So I picked a start and a whip to go up against each other, and a start and a whip, start and a whip. So I have 4 starts, 4 whips that are going against each other. And then what happens is you don't have to do it like this. You can do other ways to determine what you continue to work on or who wins the bracket matchup. But I am going to stitch on each project 2 days. So March 1st and 2nd, I'm going to stitch on a project, a start or a whip. I can't remember which one. And I'll post my bracket here as I'm talking about it. And then on the 3rd and the 4th, I'll stitch on the 2nd project. And then I will post in my Instagram stories a poll where anyone that's following me or sees the hashtags or the whatever can go and vote. And then whichever project wins goes on to the next bracket. And so when I finish the first row of brackets and I come back to the 2nd round, I'll work on that project another 2 days. And my goal, I know that the Steel City Stitchers girls have a goal of like completing something and then having it ready for display. They call it fully finishing, as most of the cross stitch world does. But that's their goal. My goal for March Madness is to get some finishes. Some of the whips that I have going, and then also some of the freebie or otherwise charts that I have in my phone, so that way I can clear up some space on my phone. And that is one of the goals that I have this year, is to try to get as many of those done as possible, to get them off my phone and into my Google Drive. So I pulled my 4 whips out here, and then I will also talk about the new starts because there's 4 of each. So whip number 1 is Little Quaker Halloween by Susan Aker. She designed this for Floss or Aurifil. And I've showed this before because it's come up in my whips or my whip parade, and then also it came up on the whip wheel. So I still have it in the little hoop, and I'm probably going to pay for that later, trying to get these wrinkles out. But I am almost 50% done. So I can't say that I will finish this in the allotted days, but we'll see, because if it wins on the bracket, then it will get more days. I am actually stitching this. This is 28 count linen. It's by Picture This Plus, but I don't remember the name. I bought it right when I started cross stitching again, and I'm using pearl cottons for the threads. I do not recommend pearl cottons on 28 count. 14 count Aida is easier than 28 count linen, but I do not recommend it because it is quite challenging. Hence the reason why it has not been done, and I started this 2 years ago, I think, almost 2 years ago. Okay, so that's whip number 1. Whip number 2 is a recent start, and it is Where There Are Bees by the Prairie Schooler. I do have this one about 25% complete. It took me a week to get there. So 2 days, I'm not really sure if I can make it, but we will see. I do have the pieces for the smalls cut. I am using the called for DMC. just four colors. And I am stitching this on 28 count. It looks like ivory linen or Monaco. You know what? I'm actually over 25%. So here's where I'm starting. So I think 2 days progress will get me pretty far. I'm almost done with the outline on this hexagon. There's a couple of bees in here, but never know. We'll see. We'll see what the votes get me. But even if I don't get this one finished, if I get 2 solid days on it, then I know that I'm going to be able to finish it maybe in the next go round when it comes up on the wheel. So we'll see. Okay, the next one is another recent one. I started this on 12 days of stitching, and it is Merry Christmas by Teresa Corbett. Here's where I am so far. So the M is pretty large on Merry. The C for Christmas is even larger, but I think if I can get the words done, then it'll be smooth sailing after that. There's another deer, there's I think another couple of stars, there's a snowman. But there's not a ton left. I have CHR and then the rest of the M and then a couple of doodads. This is on 18 count Aida that I coffee tea dyed myself. Using, she called for Weeks Dye Works for all of them and I didn't have them, so I just pulled from my stash to see what I could find. I kind of did a conversion chart online, and DMC 310, 3865, 355 for the red. I did pull Weeks Dye Works Mocha because I think that one was called for and I had it left over from something. So it's an opportunity for me to use a little bit of that. And then I also pulled 3363, which is a green, more 3865. And I don't know what these two are because they don't have tags on them. So that's wonderful. Let's see. I have a tag in here. 3852, I think that is the golden color. I don't know what the other one is, but we'll find out later. So I think that in 2 days I could get some pretty great progress on this as well. Okay, so the last width is Hands-On Designs Liberty Chalk Full in partnership with Priscilla Blaine of Stitching with the Housewives. And I am stitching this on 28 count black Monaco, and I have a decent start. Of course, we have to fold this over so you can see it. So I have a decent start on this jar, and I think in 2 days I could finish the jar itself. Maybe not all of the flowers, but I can get some decent progress on that teal. So okie dokie. I am using the DMC, the DMC conversion that's listed on the chart because they use all classic colorworks and I'm not doing that. So, especially for white. Sometimes white, it just boggles my mind. Like, you guys are paying top dollar for plain white. I don't understand that, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so that's the 4 whips. I have 4 starts. The first one what I did was I wrote down 9 starts that I can find fabric and floss for. I already have the charts. And then what I did was put 1 through 9 on a wheel and then spun a wheel. And then the first 4 that came up, those are the ones that I'm going to do. So the first one is Joy by Luminous Fiber Arts. I am going to stitch this with the remainder of the apple fritter that I used for, this is my Joy during the 12 days of Christmas. And I didn't bring any of the supplies up here for this because I don't have it all together yet. I need to get a move on it though. Apple fritter, and it's pretty small, so I should have enough floss. I have no idea what fabric I'm going to do on yet, but I'm thinking maybe 28 count Monaco. I'm even thinking that I might, well, I was just going to say might do a 1/1 but we'll see. I can't promise anything on that, but we'll see. Just because I don't want to run out of floss, so I'm just thinking if I did it 1/1, then I would definitely have enough. Okay, and that's by Luminous Fiber Arts, if I did not say that already. That was a freebie that she sent to her newsletter subscribers around Christmas time, I believe. The next one is 2015 Eagle. I don't remember where I found this one from, but there is no cover photo, so I can't show you until I get it finished. I apologize for that, but the wheel has spoken, and that's the one that was chosen. I think that I can get some pretty good progress on this one. The border is pretty intense. It has a couple colors in it, but I think that I can do it. This one I think I might do on white Monaco as well. It has a big eagle in the center, and then it has like a blue, I think it's a blue and red border around it. I don't know who it's by. It looks, there's something on the bottom, but when I get it done, I'll do some research and see if I can find it, but I don't even know where I stumbled upon it. So sometimes when you get freebies or whatever, there's not a lot of information on the chart itself, and so it's hard to remember where you even found it from. The next one is Happy Halloween 2021. This is by that Italian designer that I cannot pronounce the name, but of course she'll be linked below. I did 2 of her Halloween pieces last year, and this is the one that she released for 2021. I will probably stitch this on some tea coffee dyed fabric if I have a piece big enough for this. I think I do, but I haven't done any fabric pulling or anything, any measuring or anything at all. Okay, the last one here is I have it written down as Always by Hello from Liz Matthews, but I don't think that's the name of it. Gosh, something about an arrow. It's arrow something. I will put it here. I will put the name of it so that way you guys can. It also was to her newsletter subscribers. I thought that she said she was going to be posting those freebies somewhere else for other people to get to. I thought she said she started a website, but I couldn't find it, so I'm unsure. So those are the 4 whips. Those are the 4 new starts. I really do think that I can get Always and Joy done in 2 days if I can get some decent stitching time, if I don't fall asleep in the evening too early. I just have to keep myself awake. So, and then what my plan is, if I do happen to finish something, then 1, I'm going to put some stitches into the Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe stitch along, and if I get some stitches into that, then maybe I will put some stitches into something else that I've already worked on, so that for March Madness, so that way I can move those along as well. Because again, my whole goal of this particular event is to get some finishes. With all of that being said, we are going to have another destination for the Traveling the USA challenge in the Michigan Cross Stitch group, and I will have to get my stitches in on that as well. However, I did some math, and I figured 1 good weekend would get me there, a normal weekend. But since I am going to have March Madness stitching, I'm thinking if I work and put maybe 3 strands or 2 strands every Saturday and 2 strands every Sunday, I should be able to, make progress on that challenge. So we'll see, depending on if I could wink, I would wink here. I already know what city we're going to, but depending on how many stitches we need to get. So we'll see. So you'll want to keep an eye on all of that. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm going to have my handle listed below in the drop down box, in the description box. And so that way you can come and vote on my stories, and that will start on the 5th, because I'm going to stitch the 2 days on the new start, stitch the 2 days on the whip, and then after those are done, then I will put it up in the story. So starting March 5th, there will be in my stories, and then every 5 days, because then I'm going to do the start and the whip, the start and the whip, the start and the whip. So I think that is all that I have to share. I know that it's a crazy plan. especially with my new schedule at work, but I think that I will be very satisfied with the progress that I can get done this month. I still have to get some crocheting time in on that blanket as well. I'm just finding it hard to motivate myself to do it. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Not that I don't want the recipient to have it. It's just, to me, granny squares are boring. So, you know, it is what it is. But I only have 2 skeins. I'm halfway done. I only have 2 skeins to go. So I think I might have to talk myself into working on that at least for 10 minutes a day. Maybe 10 minutes a day, then, you know, I'll see some progress and, you know, whatever. But anyways, that is really all that I have to share with you. I hope that you get some crafting time in this week. I hope that you follow me along on Instagram for March Madness. And until next Sunday, have a great week. Bye.